Okay, hello. Welcome back to Socially Baroque. We have Trist here today from Flamingo Beauty Bar. Trist, I will get into the introduction of you and who you are, but I always love to start my shows with a two truths and one lie. I like to put people on the spot. So I'm going to ask you what your two truths and one lie are, and then we're not going to talk about it till the end of the show. Take a second, let us know like two truths, one lie, something that people don't know, something fun about you, your business, whatever it may be. It can literally be any genre, but let us know.
Okay. I traveled Europe after university. I love to travel, so these are mostly going to be travel related because that's all that's coming to my head right now. I've been to over 10 different countries and I've done a cross country road trip across the US.
All right, so we'll leave that. We will let people guess what it is while they are listening, and then at the end, I will guess them, and then we'll let people know. But just before we finish the episode,
Amazing.
so tell us a bit about who you are, what you do. Obviously, you don't have to go into this like huge spiel because we'll get into a few deeper questions about business and entrepreneurship. But let us know the gist of your business and what you kind of focus on.
Amazing. So, hi, I'm Trist. I own and operate Flamingo Beauty Bar here in Hamilton. We've been open since 2017. I was working out of my grandparents' house, and my mom and I recently moved into our own house a few years ago. So, I've switched locations, but I offer eyelash extension services as well as hair extensions, waxing, teeth whitening, all things beauty. I love to work with the girlies and just make them feel beautiful every day.
I love that. And you said you started in 2017, your business, and that's how you first started, right?
Yes, I was 15, almost 16 years old when I started doing eyelash extensions.
That's crazy. What was that one thing that pushed you to start your own business, obviously at such a young age?
I always knew that I never wanted to work for someone else. I wanted to work for myself. And there's no rhyme or reason. There's nobody in my immediate family that's self employed where I'm like, this was always my only option. My option as a kid was to be a doctor or be a lawyer. And I chose neither. I saw everyone in my family not struggling. Like, my family is very driven and hardworking, but saw them working for other people, and they'd come home and talk about their boss. And at the time, she's lovely, but I was working for someone else. And I was like, I just can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. And I was actually working at Pita Pit, they're a big chain in Canada. And it was actually my goal to own that store. She only wanted the store for about 10 years, and I was going to own it. And 10 years is like next year.
Mm.
So I was planning on purchasing that store, and I had to go through university in that time because my family had a rule that I needed to go to university. I
Mm-hmm.
was going to use this time to save up my money to purchase that store. I no longer want to own a pita pit. I want to do this for the rest of my life and expand on my services. I absolutely love my job, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, I love that. Who is like one person, or you can say like multiple people if it is, that you kind of look up to when it comes to business?
So, oddly enough, she was just someone that I followed on social media, but now she's one of my closest friends. Erin Belby, she owns Spray Tan Girl here in Hamilton. She started out just doing mobile spray tanning services, and now she does everything. She's a trainer in all of these services, so trains in spray tans, teeth whitening, lash lift and tint. I've collabed with her for a lash extension course. The big one right now is permanent jewelry. I still work alongside Erin to this day on certain social media stuff, as well as creating content for her courses. I've taught a few of her courses. I absolutely adore her. And I took her teeth whitening course at 17 years old, and she said, "You're the youngest person I've ever trained. I don't even know if I'm allowed to legally do this." We looked after she was. But she definitely has helped me along my way. And like, anytime I have a question, even last week, I was trying to figure out something for my taxes, and I called her and I was like, "Erin, what do I do?" She's amazing and so much support. But prior to becoming her friend, I followed her on social media for years, even before I was in the industry. And I was like, this girl knows what she's talking about when it comes to social media marketing and the beauty industry as a whole.
Yeah, and I feel that's so important too, to like have somebody close to you that you can ask questions to and have that support. Like you brought up the taxes thing, and I talk about this in a previous episode of my podcast, but I'm like, when I first started, I owed so much money in my taxes because I had no idea what I was doing and I had nobody to turn to. It was a learning process, but then now I realize the importance of money and your taxes. The money that's in your bank account is not all yours and all of that, but it's like I wish at the time I didn't have to get the lesson as hard as I got it. It's super cool that you look up to her. So, Flamingo Beauty Bar, is there something that brought the name to you? Like, have you changed the name? Has it always been that? Is it travel inspired? Where did that come from?
So when I first opened, I was Lash by Trist. Wanted my name in there. It was just lashes. Very quickly, it became a lot more other things. I am 70% lashes. That's what I'm doing on a day to day. I have my hair extension clients that are all in the same week, within the same 2 weeks, every 6 to 8 weeks. So I only have to do it for that amount of time. Most of the time, I'm doing eyelashes though. So I was like, okay, I'm going to switch it up. And when I was finally out of university and I was ready to like officially register my business, I love tattoos and I have 23 or 24 of them now. But my first tattoo is a little flamingo on my ankle, and I got it with my mom because it's her favorite animal. And one of the most memorable trips I ever went on was with my mom to Mexico, and we went to like a little animal sanctuary, and there was flamingos there, and I was like, they're just so pretty. And then there's an influencer on TikTok who talks about, she's a mom, and as a mom getting your pink back and like feeling
Mm-hmm.
beautiful again after having kids. And I just thought that was such a beautiful message, and I was like, well, I feel like I could be Flamingo Beauty Bar, stand tall, be confident, get your pink back,
I love
but
that.
just in your day to day. Yeah.
Obviously, when we first met, I'll like digress a bit because I do that also. Trist and I met because I am a coach at a 45 and she became a member there. And we like started talking all girl things. I swear, every single time I saw you, I was like, oh, what about your Stanley Cup? What about this? What about your lip gloss? Oh, the staves. Oh my God, you went to Target. Like, we just were literally girls
Always.
being girls. And so that's how we kind of connected. And then obviously, both of our businesses have that pink aspect. And I just think business owner to business owner, we're just like pink, girly, everything, empowering
Yeah.
women to like be in the industry of owning a business and running a business and all of that in one, I think is so fun. And that's how we connected. And now here we are on a podcast talking
I
about
know,
being
it's so
business
crazy.
owners. So I think that's a fun kind of like connection. And you never really know who you're going to come across and people that you can meet in your everyday life. Like, I never even had an aspiration of being a fitness coach or a personal trainer. Fitness has always been a big part of my life, but then I tied in fitness with business and everything has now kind of come together. And I know that fitness is a big part for you as well in your journey about feeling beautiful and feeling confident and empowered and all of that.
100%. I'll expand off of that a little bit as well. So, about a year and a half ago, I embarked on a fitness journey. I've lost 92 pounds total, which is absolutely
Yes,
insane.
crazy.
Very proud. But about 3 months into my fitness journey was when I met Brooke, and I was working out, but really didn't know what I was doing. When I joined F45, it helped so much because I wasn't stuck wondering what I was doing every day. But then I made connections with you and then other business owners as well. Like we had, for any F45 members that might be watching this, you know who I'm talking about. There's a group of 5 of us that are very, very close, and all of us are small business owners. So we like bounce stuff off of each other all the time. And with the help of a network, I feel like it's crucial to
Mm-hmm.
surviving in this world, especially post pandemic. It's very different now as opposed to before COVID, whereas there was so many businesses and a lot of people didn't make it through. I'm very lucky to be one that did, but I know of, and I know personally of many people who didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think too it's about like collaboration over competition. There's so many people in each industry and it's just like how can you collaborate? Like I know even me and you we collaborated with our businesses. Tris gave me a lash lift and I did some social media content for her and it's just like helping people out in different ways is like so important and I feel like I would have never met half the people I've met in Hamilton or even like the local area because my business is online. I would have never met half the people I did if it wasn't for F45 and just like having conversations and just like putting yourself out there in uncomfortable situations sometimes. Like I just think it's such a fun way to kind of collaborate and meet people and I'm so happy I met you and I'm so proud of you. Watching you watch in your journey and your confidence is just so fun to have those people behind you that support you and are there for you.
Yeah, Great. Couldn't do it without the girlies.
Okay, how do you define success? Whether that's like in your personal life, in your business, or both, how do you define success? Like, what does that look like to you?
Interesting. I feel like my definition changes on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis, and other small business owners will get this. I'm in a good week right now, and everyone knows what that. If
Hmm.
you're a small business owner, you know what that means. Where I'm like, oh, I had 3 extra people book some full sets. I'm going to get a new phone tomorrow. Like, I'm excited about it. Whereas, like, next week, I'm like eating ice water for breakfast. So, like,
Yeah,
you
that
have to
I
look
love it.
at success other than a monetary value. I have an amazing partner. I have amazing friends. In that sense, I'm also successful. There's like a trend on TikTok right now, and it's little you, and it's like, are we rich? And then it's, yeah. And it's like, where's the money? And it says, what money? And you're successful with these abundant things that aren't always money. Obviously, we want to be rich and successful, and we're going to get there. But I feel like success can be also defined as like small wins each and every day.
No, I seriously love that so much because so many people, and like nothing wrong with it, are money driven and they value success with money. But like, I don't need to be the richest person in the world to be happy. I need people around me. I need my family. I need my friends. I need my community and my network around me, and to have those balances. If I can travel and if I can take days off without feeling super stressed, like those are the wins that I see in my life. So I love that like you kind of have that similar value because like yes, money's nice and we'd all love millions of dollars, especially in this economy that we live in. It's everything just keeps getting more expensive. But I'm like, I love that. I love that like your success is based on the people that you have around you and the ways that you're scaling your business as well, right? Like when you're adding a new service, you're doing the trainings and stuff like that. It's like that success. It doesn't really value it. Money, yes, but it's not the first thing that comes.
100%.
So that ties in to my next question. When you first started your business, obviously you were 15, 16 years old. So 7 years ago, what were your goals when you first started versus like what are your goals now?
So originally, I was just going to do it to get myself through university, use it after to make money to buy the store. That changed pretty quickly after starting to do lashes. I was like, okay, I originally was going to go to school to become a midwife, which is like still working with the girlies, but
Yeah.
not like in the medical sense. And then I hated school so much in high school. And my family was like, you have to go to university. So I
Hmm.
graduated from McMaster with a degree in sociology with a minor in business. And then I was like, I'm lashing for the rest of my life. I love it. And I do. And I intend to lash for the rest of my life. I'm actually going back to school in January to become a nurse to do cosmetic injections. I literally got accepted at like 10:30 this morning for
Yay.
January, and I had a little party in my backyard by myself for a moment. So while I do intend to lash for the rest of my life, this is just something extra. This is a new service and an extra strain of income, which anything that you can throw in
Hmm.
there that's going to make you more money, why not do it? Because although success does not have to be in financial means, I do want to buy a
But
house.
no,
Probably
literally, it's
before I'm
like
40, hopefully.
hopefully. No, I love
Yeah,
that. That's so exciting. And it's like you're always going back to school and educating yourself and expanding. You never know what doors are going to open up with that. You say you want to do lashing still for the rest of your life, but say this takes off and then that becomes like you hire somebody or like you never know where business is going to take you. But I love that you're always scaling and you're always looking for that next thing. What are some things you do in your business to stay on track? Or what are like some things that you kind of put together over the past 7 years that help you stay organized or stay motivated? How do you kind of do that?
definitely investing in a good scheduling system because I forever was just a pen and paper schedule. If you ever walk into like a walk-in nail salon and they've got the paper book with the pencil, that was me.
Yes.
Then I got a free scheduling app that helped me keep track of my income, which I did really like that app, but it didn't send out text reminders. So I would have to do it by myself every day at 9 o'clock at night. I would be like, see you tomorrow morning. And like, it makes you look a little bit more professional when you've got an automated service. So investing in like a proper scheduling system. This one also is super helpful for doing my taxes and tracking my income. And you can put it directly into QuickBooks. It's like by Squarespace, so it's super user friendly. Another thing would be, this is pretty niche for like beauty industry, but like finding suppliers rather than, don't get me wrong, I love supporting other small businesses. I buy a lot of things still from other small businesses, but going directly to the source for the majority of my product, because not only does it keep me organized, I'm forced to keep a inventory of like all of my product, but I don't have to be sitting there wondering, do I have enough lashes for this client? And I mass order once a year, and it's a huge order, and it takes up so much space in my lash room, but it definitely keeps me more organized.
So this is my thing. I'm a pen and paper person, but I'm also like my notes app is literally me right now with my notes app. I am crazy. Everything is planned out and I need like multiple calendars. Like I write everything on my paper one and then I have it in my notes and then I have it in my calendar and then I have my Apple calendar and my Google calendar. Like I'm actually crazy. So I can relate with that. What do you think was your biggest challenge in the past 7 years of your business? And like, how did you overcome it? The reason I say before you answer is because I'm literally like, probably COVID with
Yeah.
people needing masks and like the 6 feet. But I'll let you answer it. What do you think your biggest obstacle in your business has been? And how did you overcome that?
You know what? Like, I have always, and pray to God this stays true.
Knock on wood.
I've been very lucky, knock on wood. I've been very lucky. The shutdown periods, obviously, I was closed. I had to be closed. I was still working a second job at the time. So I did have some sort of income, but I would actually say there was a point, but like the shutdowns were stopping. And I ended up, my boyfriend and I got COVID. His whole family got COVID. So I was at his house because I lived with people who are immunocompromised. 2 days into my isolation, my entire family gets COVID, but it was when they were still doing like the nose swabs,
Mm-hmm.
and we had different strains. So I couldn't go home. I had to stay at his house. So I have clients that are messaging me and I'm like, I can't go home. I don't know when I can go home. My mom, unfortunately, ended up getting long COVID. So I was at my boyfriend's for longer because I didn't want to get her type of COVID. It was a mess. And then I had to stay closed for 6 weeks because
Wow.
no one could come in my house. And obviously, anything to protect my mom. My mom is my entire world. My mom's a single
Mm-hmm.
mom, did everything on her own. I cannot thank her enough for everything she's ever done for me. So I was taking care of her during that time. My grandparents were also like, we were living with them. So taking care of them. I was the only one that was going out because everyone was still kind of sick. That was definitely my biggest challenge because I was going a little bit crazy without
Yeah,
working.
6 weeks, so long.
Yeah, it was like an entire month and a half. And I have clients to this day that were with me during that time. And they're like, that's the last time I went without lashes.
Oh my god.
Yep, I don't let you leave.
That's funny. I love that. Well, I don't love that because of the situation, but I love like the story that they're still with you. Not that everybody had COVID, because 6 weeks is a long time, especially being a service based business. Like you can work from your laptop. It's not like you can still make an income. Like you're literally relying on those people in person. So that's really hard. Do you see yourself ever opening up a brick and mortar business, or like do you always want to stay like that close knit with being at home and more? I feel like when it's like a house business, it's almost more like comfortable. You feel like I'm just like going to somebody's home and it's like comfy and their dogs are there. And so where do you see yourself with that?
For a really long time, like up until about 6 months ago, I did want a brick and mortar location. That was also part of the reason why I chose Flamingo Beauty Bar because I was like, oh my gosh, a little flamingo sign. You're walking down the street. That's so
Pink.
cute. I truly feel, and this is going back to what you said before about collaboration versus competition,
Mm-hmm.
there is enough locations. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to be another one. I can
Mm-hmm.
go work in someone's shop doing a room rental, or I can work from home. I love working from home. Any of my clients or friends who are watching this, you know, my dog, or both of them now, but my dog is always poking her little head in and like she doesn't sit in. but she'll sit on the couch and she'll greet everyone as they come in and out. I have people that are like, yeah, she's my favorite part of an appointment. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I feel that is a fine line where I'm like, I could spend a lot of money and get a location, but then I'm worried about staffing it. I'm worried about, keeping the lights on. It's more overhead expenses, and I just don't want that. So I think I'll either be from home or within a clinic for if I'm doing Botox and filler. The goal is still obviously to stay self-employed. With the nursing aspect, it's a little tricky. Like, I will have to be employed, but not employed under a nurse practitioner. But I will definitely be just solely me.
Okay, I want to go back to the beginning of our episode where we asked the two truths and one lie. The audience know.
I traveled to Europe after university. I've been to over 10 countries. And then I've also done a cross country road trip across the US.
Okay. Well, I feel like I knew that you did the cross country across the US, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, so that one's true. I want to say the second one, the 10.
So I have been to more than 10 countries, but I've never been to Europe.
Oh, that's a good one. That was a good one. What? So you've been to over 10, but haven't been to Europe. So is Europe going to be
Yeah.
on one
So
of the next
Europe
trips?
is like once I'm done nursing school, that's where we're going. So my boyfriend and I have actually found like a cruise that's going to bring us from Turkey to northern France. It's like a 23-day cruise, but that's the plan because I just want
Nice.
to see it all.
Yeah. And honestly, it's good motivation. You're like, I need to finish this and then I get this reward. That's how I get my rewards.
100%.
That's how I measure
Exactly.
rewards. I'm like, where can I go next and what's my next trip? Because I always need a trip to look forward to.
Yes. I have two coming up, so fingers crossed that they
Nice.
come soon.
All right, Tris, thank you so much for being a part of Socially Unapologetic. We loved having you on today, and we will talk to you later.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.